was actually worried about that. But we do get fuel pressure when I turn the key on. I've got the battery hooked up to what is the final version of the wiring harness. I've taken everything off that that I need to and started looming it up a little bit. I pulled the, I didn't have to do too much. I pulled the power for the automatic choke from one of the fuel injectors that turns on when the key turns on. The rest of it up here, I just switched around where the location of this cool and temperature sensor is, and that seems to be working. I got some blue loomer on the top part of here. I've got the two wires that go into the distributor. They're all ready to go. They can reach the distributor. I had it on there just to see if it could reach. And I think I already showed that all this stuff is kind of put off to the side, but basically all the rest of this stuff needs to be loomed up. And the wiring harness is done. Actually, the rest, that kind of is the last bit of plumbing that I needed to do. I got the exhaust done down to the downpipes. I got the transmission cooler lines running up to the front here. I got the fuel system is plumbed in, and it seems like the pump is getting pressure, so that's good. I got the wiring done, and so that was the last bit, I think, of the actual like plumbing that needed to be done. Time to pull this engine out and see what's going on with the transmission. Actually, I kind of know what's going on with the transmission. Is there's a difference between the back of the where the flywheel, or I'm sorry, not the flywheel, the flex plate attaches to on the crank, between the older motors like this one and the newer motors. I'll see if I'll pull it out and see if I could show you that. I got to do a couple things. I got to replace that oil filter housing assembly on there because that's hitting the drive shaft, and figure out what I want to do with the torque converter and slash flywheel. Maybe I got a new transmission kind of in the works right now, but I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. But yeah, time to pull this out and get the wire harness all loomed up and cut back. So I just got a new oil filter, a PH30 instead of the PH5 that I had in there, and now plenty of clearance. The front drive shaft should work just fine. Just wrapping up the wiring harness. Get a good look at it. I wanted to get a good look at it while the engine was out, because it's kind of a little bit more clear with the engine out. Anyway, these are all the wires that are not going back in. This whole big thing. I will cut them off eventually, but I won't. I want to make sure that the engine runs fine before I do any of that, because I may need something out of there, like maybe something from the distributor or an extra power wire or something like that. I'm gonna just hold off on tearing that, cutting it off at the nub. But basically, I ran some looming all the way up to here where the relay is, the fuel pump relay, and then kind of like the power distribution block. Comes up and over along the firewall there, goes down into kind of like a whole tangle of shit here, but back towards the transmission, one for the oil pressure sender. The main one that goes along the top is this one now. It's much lighter than it was. It's just the alternator, AC, some grounding plugs, and then the automatic choke. And it also goes down from this big junction. It goes down alongside the transmission here with this little cover here. It'll be covered that up, and then it comes down along here. So it goes to the starter and some more grounding wires, and then there's more wire here. This goes up to this is the battery cable basically. It hooks up to the starter, but I have extra loom for that stuff that I'll throw on there once I know exactly how long it needs to be, because I don't really know without the battery in there. It's obviously not in there. And from there it comes on down across. This will go like across the firewall like that. This hooks up to the tachometer. This is an O2 wire that I'm just leaving on there. I'm not really planning on using it, but just to have the wire in place, if I ever put a wideband in, I can just tap into that wire because the O2 sensor is like located right there on the header. So I'm going to keep that. And then here from this junction, it goes on up to the, this is the wiper motor. And then over from there, across and over to my throttle position sensor, which is all hooked up now. So the wiring is completely done. It looks pretty good. This old blue loom I just had sitting around from another car I did, but anyway, that looks good. I like it. So I just found out some fantastic news about my motor mounting system. It will work. So the nuts that I welded onto the bottom of the brackets, they fit in there, and I can just attach the bolts to them from the top. The motor sits in place, and actually I had to come up with kind of a different way of mounting it than normal, but still, you just plunk it down with both of the motor mounts, all the motor mounts attached, get it lined up with the transmission stuck on there, and then once that's done, then you let the through bolt out on the one side and bolt up the bottom part of the bracket on both sides of the frame, and then you just wiggle the rubber part of that mount and the rubber part of that mount until you could fit this through bolt back in. And so that's fantastic news. The other bit of fantastic news, and this I just found out today too, was that evidently I was doing the transfer or the torque converter a little bit wrong. I didn't have it in there all the way. And so what should happen is it should be able to spin nice and freely, just like that, when you've got the motor installed. Nice tight clearance on there. This is perfect. So I'm going to be a real tight clearance right in there. Get that bolts in right there. So I'm going to be able to use this transmission for now. And that is fantastic news, isn't it, Colleen?
It is amazing. We just figured it out.
I just figured it out, and I'm thrilled about it. So
Betsy is on the roll.
She'll be rolling soon enough. I'm planning like so. I've got to pull the motor out one more time, put some transmission fluid in the torque converter, and then basically bolt it up, get the engine in there, and start putting everything back together. And the next time that I put the motor in, basically, is going to be the last time of it, hopefully, if it runs and stuff. So I think I've got it all reassembled. Everything is back in there. And the engine is, hello James, just about ready to fire up. I've got, let's see, it's been a while since I've done an update on this, but I have all the body mounts in. The only fabrication I really had to do since the last video is I had to create that little plate, a little spacer plate underneath that bushing there, so the body would mount in the right angles and such. But I've got the radiator mounted. I just filled it up with some fluids.
Colleen has now joined us.
Oh, has she? Where is she at?
Hi.
Hello. Got my new transmission cooler lines all hooked up. I just checked the transmission fluid level and it seems fine. AC's reconnected, the radiator's in, the fan, the shroud. All the belts are up. Got the hoses on. Yep, she's power steering is all connected.
The doors are going open.
I got my gas vent on. Yeah, the door should go open. Let's see how this works. So Colleen is going to be doing the filming for maybe the first start. Hopefully the first start. It's been a long time coming. But we have juice in the battery and everything is hooked up.
I hear something.
Yeah, it's a fuel pump. And there's fuel pressure. And no fuel leaks.
Good signs all around.
Huh?
Good signs all around.
So when are you gonna do it? Colleen, not enough juice in the battery.
Not enough battery.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw it on the charge. Ah!
Oh no.
Wait, we can.
One
My battery is the same as
One
yours.
small hiccup.
Dad, my battery's the
We'll
same
get this
as yours.
going. Here we go again with a charged battery this time. Hopefully this will work.
Say 3, 2, 1.
It's halftime the Eagles game. This should do it.
You ready?
What the hell, man?
Starter stuck?
I don't know at this point. I don't know.
Tap the starter with a screwdriver. Just like tap it with something. Yeah, that works.
Are the teeth not engaged or something?
They won't be engaged until you click it on.
Well, shouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. I know the starter worked on this flywheel before. What the hell, man? I don't know.
You want to try my battery?
We can try.
I'm still
but
rolling, though.
I don't know.
We could just jump it from my battery even.
We'll get your battery down here. We'll give it a shot. Here, stop it. Well, we're trying it again. One more time, right, James?
Oh, yeah.
This time we
My
have
battery.
the Optima red top in there. Will it start? Nope. Something's wrong with the starter, I think. Yet again, doing it again. Because what we've done this time is we reshuffled the wires around a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So this is like maybe like 5th time or so trying to get it to...
Trying to get it to do that.
Oh man! Colleen! Oh, we gotta get her down for this. She's excited about it as well, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's get her. It's gonna work, Colleen. It's gonna work. Here, take the video. It's already recording.
I know it's recording.
Sideways. Here we go. Here we go.
Ah! There she is.
Oh my! You're good. Oh my god! It works!
It worked.
It works!
It worked.
Yeah, that's all the lava wrap getting
Nice.
Oh my
no
God.
leaks?
No,
No leaks whatsoever?
I didn't see any.
Good. That idle needs some adjusting, man. It just does
Oh
not
my
want to
God.
sit and idle at all. It works!
Now,
Oh, that's exciting.
now the test is, does the transmission work at all?
Let's get it warmed up and see. Let's get it warmed up.
Here, hold on. Let's move the shit out of the way. Yeah, move the shit out of the way. Wait, don't.
Because the transmission fluid probably gets sucked down.
Maybe.
And also the coolant level. You're supposed to be watching this, right, James? Let's watch this, too.
Do you have your overflow tank hooked up?
Yeah.
As well? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna open this window back here. Get air flowing, maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe.
As you can see, all of the smoke that's coming out of this car.
Is that open? Is
And she
Open?
runs, right?
Yes, she runs.
Oh my god.
This
Did you not hear that?
This thing is probably out of transmission fluid. Like, it probably all got sucked out while,
There's no spots.
I'm just saying sucked out of the transmission oil pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's empty. Right, so
Yeah.
I need more transmission fluid.
How much transmission fluid did you get?
I don't know. I mean, I have a lot.
You've got and multi-purpose.
Here, use this shit.
What's that?
It's open. It's not open.
It's not open.
Oh my god.
I mean-
we
I
gotta.
mean, I have another. I have probably something that's open.
Just use that shit.
Just use that one.
Yeah, this is fine. Use this stuff. I'll just shove some in there.
Still filming. You're still on.
Am I
Yeah.
still on?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to edit this if I'm still on, because I don't know, man. Where's the
There.
is idle in park, and then you go into gear and it's like that. He's working. The thermostat opened up, so we know it's warm. Seems to be running fine. A tiny little leak right there. I gotta put a new clamp on it. But the rest of it's not leaking, so I'm happy. I'm happy about that. Going, buddy.
Dad, you have a pet frog.
Time to try reverse. I have the front block in, but the rear block is gone.
Froggy.
So you can back out.
Okay.
If you put it in.
It's driving! Dude.
We're good.
Steering feels good. Good.
There's no hood.
Just some final thoughts on the truck and the fact that it's running. Allow me to move it on up here to the top of the driveway. We got a test drive in it and it drove okay. There's, you know, obviously still a lot more issues left with the truck, but overall I am happy about it and I'm glad that it's up here. We were able to get James's Blazer in the garage. He wants to get some work done on that. And I could kind of move on to the next part of the restoration. I gotta apologize for holding back on these videos here, because I originally thought that, I'm gonna just get inside here real quick. I originally thought that I would be able to just install the motor and everything be okay, you know, but it turned into a whole front end restoration. So, and that's fine, you know, I kind of already explained that that's fine, but originally I thought that I was going to just make one big video about me installing the motor, and that's why I'm kind of releasing the videos now as a kind of like a multi-part series. But I just want to apologize to the family. They're kind of expecting to see, you know, some footage, because it's kind of fun watching the footage in the garage. Anyway, there's more stuff to do to this. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do next. Finish the exhaust, take the bed off, repair the rust in the rear frame part, you know, maybe redo the brake lines back there, the fuel lines, that sort of stuff. But I'll figure it out and just keep on going, getting it towards an inspection, you know, hopefully sooner rather than later.